Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. So today we're going to be taking a look at the WLTOYS 144001, and we're actually going to be converting it to brushless. A lot of the components that I'm going to be using have actually turned up now, but I am still waiting for a servo, the battery pack and a couple of other little bits, but I'll go into more detail in the actual video. But we are going to actually make a start doing the conversion. I've been looking forward to this for quite a while now. Obviously I've been doing quite a few videos on it on my channel, but it is only in its stock form at the moment. I've done nothing to it in regards to the electronics. The only things I've done is stick a set of foam tyres on there, which did actually help increase top speed. As you, if you haven't seen the speed run video I did, then I will leave a link in the description below. So guys, let's not waste any time, let's get straight into today's video. If you are new around here, be sure to hit the subscribe button. I've got loads of little projects on the way. There's going to be loads of new stuff coming in the next few months, so it's definitely worth hitting that subscribe button, guys. I hope you enjoyed today's video. Let's get straight into it, guys. So here it is then. This is my bone stock WLTOYS 144001. Just ignore the wing on the back for the moment. That's the GURT wing by Phatbodies. Just a little test fitting I was doing there just to sort of see what it looks like. I have also got their ATAK body shell, which I will be painting and obviously putting some decals on and whatnot. It's worth noting that these don't actually come with stickers for the windows. That's something you'll have to either live without or try and provide yourself. I've got like a new sort of thing I want to try with that, but I'm not gonna tell you just yet. I'm going to make you wait until later on. A little bit of a surprise for you. I think it's going to look quite good though. So yeah, that's the ATAK body by Phatbodies, and that's the GURT wing as well that goes with the body. So yeah. So obviously I've said this thing is bone stock, and it pretty much is. What I meant by that is the electronics are bone stock. Obviously you can see I'm running contact foams on this. So I did a video basically comparing the standard sort of wheels and tyres that this actually comes with. I did a comparison video basically to see whether or not actually sticking a set of foams on this would improve top speed, and funny enough it actually did. We actually hit, I believe, 30.4 miles per hour on the standard wheels and tyres, just from sticking a set of foams on there, which obviously gave it more traction, more grip. We actually gained an extra 4 miles per hour, which isn't too shabby at all. So yeah, I was quite pleased with that. I did stick the GPS on there and I was quite pleased with that. So guys, this is obviously going to be part 1 of 2, because I am still waiting for some parts to turn up. I think the main thing I'm waiting for to turn up is the actual servo. I have ordered the servo, tiny little 17 gram servo for these from Banggood. They are on back order until the 30th of August, I believe. And then obviously once they do come in stock, once they actually become available again, it's got to then be shipped over. So potentially I'm not going to be able to get this finished sort of until mid-September, which is a little bit annoying. I'm half tempted to just buy a branded servo for this, just because I want to get this project done. If anybody knows of a branded servo that I can actually purchase here in the UK and it will turn up a little bit quicker, then feel free to let me know in the comments section below. My intentions are to obviously run brushless on this, and I'll show you the motor and ESC that I've chosen to go for on this in a moment. So guys, my intention is to obviously take this big heavy brushed 550 motor out and run something a little bit lighter, a little bit smaller, which will hopefully give us a little bit of an edge when it comes to the speed runs as well. And I have actually gone for the Racestar. I believe this is a 3650 sized motor, but I do believe this is a 380 sized motor instead of a 540, and it's just the fins that obviously make this thing look slightly bigger. If you can see inside, the actual motor itself, or the actual working parts, resemble a 380 sized motor, and this thing is quite light, which is one of the reasons why I sort of thought this may be the best way to go. This is a 3300 kV. I was going to go for a higher kV motor as well, but I thought I'd probably be going for pretty much 3S straight away on this, which is why I went for the lower kV option over the higher kV option. If I was going to just run sort of 2S, then I would have probably gone for the higher kV motor. So guys, this is obviously from Banggood. This is the Racestar ESC and motor combo. Obviously I showed you the motor, we'll have a quick look at the ESC. So here it is, this is your sort of standard Chinese sort of looking knockoff type ESC. It's a 60 amp ESC 2 to 3S capable, it is waterproof. I don't know if I'd actually run it in the wet, my intentions aren't to actually run this car in the wet, so we are probably just going to be running it in the dry, but it is waterproof, it says it's waterproof, and it is 2 to 3S compatible. Now one of the issues I'm probably going to face is obviously fitting this into the car itself. As you can see, the little 3-in-1 unit, or 4-in-1 unit, whatever it's called, I think it might be a 4-in-1 unit, is in a little notch on the top deck there. It's in a little notch on the little top deck plate, whatever you want to call it, and obviously the 60 amp brushless ESC that I want to replace that with is a little bit bigger than that. So that's one of the issues I'm going to have to overcome. If I can't get it to fit, I know a lot of people have done brushless conversions on these, and they have actually struggled to get these things to fit, or they've had to use, you know, like a homemade mount, or, you know, do something completely extreme and different to actually get this to fit. I mean, one of the reasons for actually going for the ATAK body is to actually give me some more headroom there to be able to fit a taller ESC in. So I do think this will give us enough clearance. I think the main issue I'm going to have is being able to fit this into the chassis itself. But, you know, we'll try our best. If it doesn't work, that's fine. We'll just have to get a smaller ESC, you know, ideally with the same sort of power and compatibility, you know, but maybe just something would actually fit snug rather than me having to cut and chop and all that sort of stuff. But we'll get to that. You know, we'll try and overcome the issue when we actually get to it. Guys, I am going to be painting the body shell white. I do have this Core RC white spray paint. I believe this is called White Night. If you're interested in this, once I've finished the shell and you think, oh yeah, I like that, I don't know if that come out clear enough, but I'll stick the name of the paint on the screen as well. It's called White Night by Core RC. I've used this stuff before, I'd recommend it. So that is the colour I'll be doing the shell. Guys, obviously I am going to have to run my own transmitter as well, because we aren't going to be using the stock transmitter that the car actually comes with, which is this one. Don't get me wrong, this is a nice piece of kit, I do like it. I am intending to use my Sanwa radio, and you know, hopefully this will give us quite a few options as well. This is a good radio, it does have a lot of options in there, which will hopefully benefit us as well when we actually take this thing out for a good old speed run. I'm going to have to obviously get a receiver to fit into the car as well. I mean, guys, this thing is so tiny, getting all these components to fit in, I've got a feeling it's going to be a little bit of a hassle, but, you know, I'm not going to worry too much. We'll worry about all the issues when we actually get to them, and we'll try and overcome them, you know, sort of the best that we can at least. Guys, I think what I'll do first is obviously stick the camera up on the tripod there. I'm going to take the motor out. Apparently these do have a bit of an issue. The motor screws are like super glued in. You know, I don't even know if they actually use thread lock. Some people have said they actually just use super glue. They are so tight and they're quite hard to get out. So I have actually brought another motor mount, which is over here somewhere. Yep. I have actually brought another motor mount. Worst case, if I can't get the motor off the actual mount, I'll leave it intact in case I do decide to go brushed again later on. Highly doubt I will, but just in case, I have actually ordered a separate motor mount for obviously for when we fit our brushless motor. Guys, another thing we're going to have to overcome is the little battery tray there. Obviously there's a Velcro strap, but this is only really suited to the standard sort of 2S battery this thing comes with. I have actually got over there, just on the back there, I have actually got a 30cm Velcro strap, and then I'm going to be moving this little piece of plastic here over to the 2 holes there, so I will be able to run a longer pack, and then hopefully with the 30cm strap we're going to be able to have, you know, we're going to be able to run the Velcro from one end to the other, and then hopefully be able to strap down our 3S pack, sorry, when it actually turns up. Okay guys, the first thing I'm going to do is, firstly I'm going to stick the camera on a tripod so you'll get a little idea of what I'm actually doing. I'm going to remove the standard motor out of the car. Hopefully, you know, we can get the pinion off. Again, obviously I mentioned the screws on the motor mount being quite tight. Apparently the little grub screw on the pinion is really tight as well. So I'm going to try and use some heat. For that I'm probably going to have to nip inside, so the video may pause briefly. and then hopefully we can get the pinion off, get the new motor fitted onto the mount, and then get it screwed back into the car. Worst case, we'll just use the replacement motor mount that I've got and leave that brushed motor intact, but hopefully we can, at the very least, in this part 1 video, we can get the motor fitted, and then we can, you know, sort of go from there. Wait for the servo, obviously get the ESC put in as well, and hopefully by part 2 we're all good to go, where we'll have a proper running video, guys. So guys, as I thought, the pinion is seriously stuck on there. That little tiny grub screw in there is super glued in. Not only that, but the screws on the motor as well are so tight. I can try and use an impact driver on it, but to be honest, I'm pretty sure I'm going to strip the heads out straight away. So I'm going to go inside, I'm going to use some heat. I'm going to try and, if I can, get the pinion off. I'd like to save the pinion if I can, so I can use that on the new motor, but worst case, if I can't, obviously that's going to slow me down. I'm going to have to order another one. Again, those screws are seriously tight. If I can't use this motor mount, I'll just use the replacement that I've got, which, you know, I'm probably going to do, because I'm not going to spend the next half an hour trying to get these screws out. It's definitely something to be wary of if you are thinking of doing this conversion. Get yourself an extra motor mount just to save all the heartache. But if I can tonight, I really do want to try and get that pinion loose. So I'm going to go and do that now, guys. So guys, I took this inside. I don't know if you can see, but there was a little bit of smoke coming off it. Oh, you can roughly see how hot this thing got. It is burning my fingers, to be fair, but I just want to show you guys. So guys, I took this indoors. I pretty much just stuck this over the gas or the hob, you know, just your cooker, and got the flame pretty much on the pinion. This thing was glowing red, and just want to show you that with a good quality hex driver, you can see all the glue just, so sorry guys, it's a weird angle, you can see all the glue just, there we go, you can see, if the camera will focus, literally that thing is glued in there tight. So obviously the heat just helped loosen that glue up a little bit. So hopefully we can use that pinion. I'm going to let this cool down, guys, before I try and pull that off, because this thing is really hot. But yeah, just so you know, I mean, you can see, if you look closely there, you can see the little, all the dust from the glue as I've unscrewed it. You know, all the residue left in there has actually come out. It's crazy how they actually do this. Tempted to actually, once I've got the pinion off, to see if I can get the motor actually off. It'd be nice to have a spare mount, so I might actually use the same trick to get the motor off as well. I'm going to let this cool down, guys. I'm going to take the pinion off, and then we'll see if we can tackle the motor mount. Right, guys, I'm back again. So took this indoors, like I said again, used the heat, just an open flame, held it on there for as long as I could. Just put a towel around the bottom end of the motor just to be able to hold it without burning my fingers. This thing is still really hot. And there you have it, guys. Look at this. These screws are so tight without using heat. Heat is definitely your friend, especially when it comes to WLTOYS using, you know, super glue to secure their ow, it's hot, to secure their what do you call it, motors to their ow, damn, it's still really hot. I should let this cool down really, but there you go. You can see just as I pulled the motor, ow, that's hot. You can see just as I pulled the motor mount off the motor there, how much dust. I mean, look, you can see on that one, look, the amount of glue that's used. It's crazy. Like, I get where they're coming from. Obviously they don't want anything to come loose, but it's not thread lock that they use. It does look like it's just normal sort of CA super glue type stuff. And just, you know, without using heat, I just think this would be impossible, or it'd be impossible to get those screws out. Obviously we've got the pinion off as well. There it is. So hopefully we can reuse this pinion. I do want to see how fast I can get this thing to go on 3S sort of stock gearing. So it'll be interesting to actually see, guys. So I'm going to stick you on hyperlapse again. hopefully get the motor fitted to the mount. I'm going to use the old mount, I'm going to keep the new one as a spare, and then get the pinion fitted on, get it put back in the car, and then see what else we can do for today. So guys, obviously you can see the motor is fitted now. We've got the original motor mount, original pinion all fitted in there. Again, like you just see, I used heat, a lot of heat, to get those screws out, but all is well. I have actually cut my finger trying to get the pinion. Really hurts trying to get the standard pinion back on the new motor shaft. There was a little bit of glue still remaining inside. Trying to force it down, and it decided just to slip all the way down, and the end of the motor shaft went into my finger. You know, standard, as you do. So guys, I've just thought, while I've got everything sort of taken apart, I'm gonna have a look at the battery strap. So I've just got a 30cm one here. You can probably get one that will actually fit perfectly, but this is what I got, and it's slightly too big to actually fit underneath the little battery stay there. Slightly too big. I want this to be, you know, as uniform as possible, so what I am going to do is just cut a little bit off all the way along with the scissors, and hopefully that should be able to fit, you know, nice. Right guys, so obviously we are making really good progress with this. The motor and pinion are fitted, the battery straps all sorted, so we can comfortably fit a 3S pack in there. And I've done a little bit of work on the top deck as well to try and get that ESC to fit. So I have done the thing I didn't want to do, and I've done the thing most of you aren't going to want to do, and that's to take some of the material away from each side. It's the one thing I didn't really want to actually, you know, sort of do to this. I want to keep this, you know, as strong and as rigid as possible. But to be honest with you, you know, now I've fitted this back on, at first I was a little bit, I was in two minds, guys, whether or not it was a good idea. But now it's fitted in, this is still nice and rigid. Look, I'm putting quite a bit of pressure on it there, and this is still nice and rigid. I mean, you'd have to push really, really hard to actually get that to snap. And, you know, now I have actually done that. I mean, I'm not a fan of bodge jobs, guys. You know, I do like to do jobs properly. But if you don't want to spend money on, you know, like a carbon fibre deck, I believe LC Racing do actually do a carbon fibre deck. But you see where that one is actually, where there is a little sort of dip there, a little ditch, I don't know what you want to call it. It actually brings the ESC down slightly. Whereas I did look, and the LC Racing one is just one flat piece of carbon. So, you know, you're going to lose, you know, a good few millimeters of space there. Remember, you've got to get the shell on top as well. So using the stock sort of mount, the stock top deck would probably be the best option. I've got the ESC in my hands here. Just going to show you guys real quick. That does actually fit, you know, quite nicely. Obviously, I've got to stick it down. I'm not going to do that yet because I want to solder an XT60 connector on there, but that does fit quite nicely in that little cutout. As you can see, it does touch the bottom there. I'm not having you on, I'm not playing games with you. That does fit quite nice there now. So yeah, I did have to remove some material. I don't think it has affected it too much. It's still nice and rigid, so we shouldn't really have too much of an issue. If we do, we'll just switch out to a carbon one, and then hopefully do something with the shell to make that work. But that, as you see, that does fit there quite nicely now. There are other people out there who have done, you know, some fairly big YouTubers out there who have done conversions, and they actually opted to not go for the 60 amp ESC such as this one, because of the size, and because obviously they didn't want to butcher their car, you know, and cut into things and all the rest of it. But, you know, guys, to be honest with you, as much as I am against it, it hasn't actually affected it too much, you know, or not from what I can sort of point out anyway. You know, that is going to sit there nicely. That is going to give us obviously a nice solid base to actually stick this to as well. I can't see there being an issue, guys. It may not be what a lot of you are going to want to do. You know, again, this is my vehicle, this is up to me, and I chose to cut some plastic out, and that's just that. There are other options available to you if you are going to be doing this conversion, or just use a much smaller ESC. and you won't have to cut anything. But I do want to try and use this, so yeah, that's why I've used it. That's why I've cut it, sorry. So guys, moving on to the body shell then. It's going to be my last little job for today before I actually go any further with this. The reason being, I'm still waiting for the servo, obviously. I was sort of in two minds what colour to do the rear wing. I have sort of decided now I'm going to go for black. I think it'll be a nice contrast with the white that I'm actually going to do the body shell. So I am going to go for black. So yeah, I'm going to get this cut out. I'm going to take it outside. Going to spray it white. We're going to stick some proper decals on there. Probably some Beyond RC decals as well. And yeah, we'll see what it looks like, guys. I will see you very, very soon. So guys, here it is then. So this is the finished product. I apologise if my cutting out skills aren't great. But yeah, I think, you know, I'm quite happy with the outcome. Obviously we've got the Beyond RC decals going on, we've got the contact logo there, obviously the foam tyres, and I did something a little bit different with the windows. Like I said, I used some carbon fibre sticker sheet to actually use for the windows on this, and the little grills on the back there. I was tempted to do the top ones as well, and I might still do that, but I think it looks quite good as it is. I'm going to test fit it to the car just to give you a little idea of what it looks like. So guys, we're making some really good progress with the WLTOYS 144001. It's starting to look really, really good. Obviously the body shell is now complete. Still waiting for the black paint for the rear wing. We've fitted the brushless motor now. We did a little bit of work on the top deck to accommodate that 60 amp ESC. I know a lot of people out there and a lot of other YouTubers have actually opted to not go for the 60 amp ESC. And some of them have gone for the 120 amp really cheap one that you can get from Banggood. It's not something I really wanted to do. I know I've had to cut some plastic off the top deck there, but to be honest with you guys, like I showed you, it hasn't actually taken away from the you know, from the rigidity of the actual car itself. It is still nice and strong, so hopefully, you know, we haven't messed anything up, and it should work just fine. We've also done a little bit of work on the battery strap. We should be able to fit a nice 3S pack in there now. We shouldn't really have much of an issue. We've used the 30cm strap. I did have to cut it down a little bit. Guys, it's all part of the fun, doing little jobs like that, you know, making it your own, and, you know, making things work is all part of the fun when it comes to doing little projects. You know, obviously I'm going for the more speed run type thing with this now, so yeah, it's really starting to come along. And yeah, like I said, if you are doing this conversion, just keep an eye on the motor mount screws. Use a nice good quality driver, and obviously with the pinion as well, the little grab screw, that is actually super glued in as well. Guys, the way I did it, like I said to you earlier, stick it under some heat. I just took it inside, stuck it on the hob, on the open flame, heated it up real hot, went through it, and it just came loose, guys. So I didn't have too much issue with that. As long as you can try and get those screws really hot, the glue should just ease off a little, and you should be able to get those screws out. Guys, before I actually call it a day and leave it there for part 1 then, I'm actually going to hook the brushless motor up to the ESC from the Maverick. I'm going to stick a 3S pack on there, and we're just going to see how fast this thing actually spins up. Little treat to myself, I've worked hard on it for the past couple of days. I want to see how fast this thing actually spins up, and then we're going to leave it there until the servo turns up, and then that's when you'll see part 2. Obviously the wing will be painted and this thing will be looking great, hopefully, and we can take it out for its first test run. So guys, I thought it'd be a fun idea to actually hook this thing up to the ESC that I've got in the Maverick. Apologies, you know, this is my little test bench here. Just want to see how fast this thing actually spins up. Just gonna have to get the tripod quickly. There's a lot of work to actually do on this Maverick. It's in a bit of a horrible state, but this is the one RC that I've got with which I didn't actually cut the ESC leads, so I thought it would be a nice little idea just to see what this thing's like with 3S being put through it. Let's have a little look. Guys, as you see there, obviously this thing is going to have some serious potential once this is all sort of finished and we've got the ESC put in there, got the servo. We'll be able to, and obviously the new 3S pack that I've ordered as well. We'll be able to take this out for its first run. I've got a feeling this thing is going to be absolutely crazy. Guys, I hope you enjoyed today's video. Obviously this is part 1. There's still a few little things to do to actually get this to a fully working state. Obviously there's only so far I can go until I actually get the servo, and then we can, and the new 3S pack that I've ordered as well, and then we can finally take this thing out for a run and see just how fast it is. And you know, hopefully we can have some serious fun with this one, guys. It looks, judging by that what you just see, where I hooked it up to the Maverick's ESC, that was a 3S pack, and judging by that, this thing is going to be seriously quick. Guys, I hope you enjoyed it. Be sure to subscribe, leave a comment down below if you enjoyed the video, and as always, make sure you hit that like button as well, and I will see you on the next video, guys. Take care, and I'll see you soon.